Alright, just want to put this disclaimer here at the beginning of this video, spoiling the crap out of Secret Wars, because spoilers, dudes and ladies, stuff goes down, and I talk about it. So, if you don't have it spoiled for you, push the back button, or close the window, or I'm sorry, close the browser, well, close your window, whatever you're on Windows, or not, whatever, and, stop the video, turn the volume down, whatever, just, I'll be talking about it in detail and all the stuff that happened and everything that went down. And if you don't want to have it spoiled for you, that's leave now or forever hold your peace and stuff. So yeah, on with my thoughts on Secret Wars #1. Hello, Internet. So yeah, just read Secret Wars Part 1. So it's 8 parts. I don't know if this is going to be weekly or monthly, because the next issue says it's going to be out next week. So, whatever. It's only $40, so it's like, if it's $5 each, it's like, yeah, that's $40. But whatever. I'm trying to think if I really want to. I don't know. Issue 1, it's like it did resolve some things. However, whatever. I'll get to it. So. I mean, it's not like I didn't enjoy it. It's just, because it did wrap up the Incursion storyline. It's just, there's some stuff that's loose ends there. So it's just like, I mean, not to the storyline. It just like, it makes it like you can like see where it's at now, and like I guess that's where Secret Wars is going to pick up. So it's kind of weird that this is like part 1, nothing really happened, but whatever. Well, I guess it wrapped up the Incursion storyline, but still. Anyway, so yeah, it's weird because it starts off with that part at the end of New Avengers when you have Doctor Strange, Molecule Man, and Doctor Doom, and they're there, and that explosion happens, and then like there's some narration. I don't know if it's Doom. I don't know who it is, but then it's like talking about that light when people say supposedly when you go dead or when you die, it's like it could be the brain, blah 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 stuff happening. And it's like, actually, that brilliant blinding light is God, and then it has them standing before the beyond entity, well, or the rift thing, because we don't know what it is yet, and I guess it didn't die in an explosion of all the Beyonders or whatever that was, and so they're sitting there, and then like the rift greets them, and it's like, we are beyond, dreamers, destroyers, all of reality our whim, who dare stand before us? And then Doom is like, I, Doom. And then we basically go to the events at the end of Avengers where the multiverse, or the Ultimate Universe, and the 616 are colliding. But that being said, it doesn't pick up right where that issue left off. It's before the attack, so you have Hawkeye and Fury from the Ultimate Universe, and then Reed Richards and the City, and they're all talking about stuff, and then it turns out that Reed Richards is lying to Nick Fury and Hawkeye, because Thanos talks to him about him. He's like, why do you even bother? Why don't you just like tell him the truth about the world's going to end and not just lie about it, blah blah blah. And then Reed's like, we show them one hand and hide our real objective in the other. But then it's weird because like we don't know what happens to the Cabal and Richards in like the whole incursions thing that just like that's about to happen, because it only shows it from the 616 side. So I'm hoping they show what happens to like this group in the next issue. If not, whatever. I'm just gonna assume they're dead, because yeah, at the end basically there's an incursion in both Earths. It's like one of those it's an incursion we haven't seen yet, since it's been preventing at least one Earth getting blown up, and not both of them. But like this one, both of them, and Gonzors. So yeah, we start, and there's just like a ton of helicarriers invading, and then you have the heroes out to save the day, and it's just a giant throwdown. But it's pretty cool because it's like you see a bunch of different groups, like it just like switches perspective. So you have street level, like Spider-Man, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, and you got some other people. I'll talk to them as I like go through here and like see them. And then meanwhile, while that's happening at the Baxter Building, you have Fantastic Four prepping their what was it called, the lifeboat thing from that they were talking about. And so you see that they're prepping them and trying to get everybody ready for that. And then you also have Black Widow and Spider-Woman. They're flying a shuttle. I don't know what it is. It's like some vehicle flying shuttle thing, whatever. Super futuristic. With the scientists, or some scientists and some people that were the candidates to be the repopulation people for the species to be put on the lifeboat. So they're on their way there. But while this is all happening, there's just like, this attack by the Ultimate Universe, and there's just explosions everywhere and just chaos. And then you have Iron Man from the Ultimate Universe comes down, and he's like on the radio with like the Nick Fury from the Ultimate Universe, and he's like, "All right, dude, we got air superiority, but on the meta human side, we're totally outmatched." Because there's like barely any heroes in the Ultimate Universe, which is kind of whatever. I'm not going to get into it. I thought that was a neat little thing of like, how there's like permadeath in Ultimate Universe, so therefore they've just like slowly been dying off. And then like on the showdown, it's like, oh well, you're clearly outmatched here, Iron Man. Good luck with that. So that's happening. So basically, it's like you have Ultimate Universe Iron Man versus Captain Marvel. And then that's going down, but he has a bunch of like drones or whatever. But whatever, it's no big deal. Like they basically get handled, so it's whatever. And then we see Spider-Man, like I said, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, saving civilians, and you also see the Guardians of the Galaxy in the mix. That was pretty cool. And then Storm and Thor are there, doing stuff, saving people. And there's also all new Captain America, all new Captain America, Falcon, Iceman. And there's like these two Sentinels that come in, and then it's Cyclops with his Nation X Sentinels. So it's like, what the F is going on with Cyclops? like he just like randomly shows up, and he's just like, doing stuff, trying to help. Like the one man team, because he has no friends. Everybody's left him, and he gave his students to the Jean Grey school. You got the Inhumans in there too, because Black Bolt. It's weird because like Black Bolt totally gets like taken out super early on. Well, it doesn't get like taken out. It's just like, I don't know what happened to him. It's like you just see him get grabbed by something, and like it has him around the neck so he can't yell. I guess similar to like what happened in Infinity with Thanos. It's just kind of like, oh, whatever. So that's going down. Oh, and then you have like another group, and it's let's see, Pod, She-Hulk, Hulk, Nightcrawler, and Colossus. And Colossus does a fastball special on Hulk. It's pretty awesome. He like throws him through the Triskelion. I was kind of confused though, because it seemed like the Triskelion was like a building in the Ultimate Universe that wasn't a helicarrier, but then you see Hulk get thrown through it. So it's like, what the F just happened? I'm kind of confused, because I didn't know it could fly, but I guess it can fly. I don't know, maybe it can't fly, and they just are that close to that planet. I don't think that happened towards like he threw him to like from 616 Earth to Ultimate Earth and just threw him through a building. It could have happened. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. I could be wrong. Could you also see like Nightcrawler teleport him over, and then She-Hulk and Potter there? So maybe they did just like jump through, or not jump through, but like jump across the incursion to the other planet. Because actually, I think they did. Because like if you look at the perspective, there's like a planet in the horizon, and then the action sequence happens. And then also while this happens, you have Nick Fury and Hawkeye in the building, and then they just like destroy it while they're in it. And then they're like on the other, and you see like another, or the perspective's the same, but like it looks like it's a different planet. So maybe they did land on Ultimate Earth. I don't know. But that happens, and then you have this like whole going down with the ship scene with Nick Fury and Hawkeye. And then you see, it's weird because I think they are on Ultimate Earth actually, because it shows let's see, Cloak Dagger, Wolverine's son from the Ultimate Universe, Kitty Pryde, and Jean Grey from the Ultimate Universe, and they're all just like sitting there like looking on while that happens. So I think they are on Ultimate Earth when that happens, or Ultimate Universe Earth. Oh, actually, yeah, they are. Okay, because that happens, and then then you have the 616 heroes, and they look up and they see the city, and it's like opening this thing. It's kind of weird though, because like it's like both of these, like since they're both in New York, it's kind of like you can't really tell if it's 616 or not 616. So it's like, yeah, maybe it's in New York, or since they're both in New York, it's like, it's not a distinguishing feature to be like, oh, there's a Brooklyn Bridge. So it's like, well, that could be either of them because they're both in New York. So I'm not sure. But yeah, you have like the city. It opens up this thing, and it launches out all these ships. And I guess they're called the Children. I don't know what that is. Like it's like an ultimate thing. I have no idea what that is. So yeah, whatever. Or Reed Richards, or it's like the minions of the city, or like the children of the city, and their like stuff. But yeah, Maximilian and Namor are all like doing stuff to, or they had like discussion and like Maximus is, or not Maximilian. Maximus is all like, oh yeah, it's ready, blah blah. And Namor's like, no, you're not. You're too slow. Do something. And then we see Miles. He's at the city thingy when it opens up, and he's like, "What the? That's like the only FaceTime Miles has in the whole thing." It's like, what? Whatever. It's actually, I guess, putting the pieces together. If you see Miles there, and you see the 616 Avengers or 616 heroes there, they must be on Ultimate Earth, because Miles never went across. But yeah, so that happens. They launch all these ships. This is the part when Black Bolt gets taken out. So yeah, I was kind of bummed out about that because I like that Black Bolt. Whatever. He didn't get to do anything. He was just like flying there in front of Medusa, and it's like, oh, Black Bolt got taken out, whatever. Actually, a lot of people got taken out, which was kind of cool because like, oh, wow, this is like a pretty cataclysmic world's ending and whatnot, as you would imagine, if from an incursion. It's like you had your time in the sun, 616, but you and in the Ultimate Earth are the only ones left. And then let's see, you have Iceman and Falcon there saying stuff. There's a giant explosion. I think it's like one of those ships hit the Avengers Tower, but the way... Actually, yeah, it does. Okay, because like at first I saw it, but I had it in like panel view, so it like looked kind of weird, but now it's like I see it in the actual normal view. So, yeah, one of those ships hits the Avengers Tower. Iceman and Falcon are there, and I think they get taken out, whatever. And it's funny, like this part, you have like the scene where the text changed to like the font of email, and you have like Wilson Fisk sending this to a bunch of villains, and then it's like, if so I say this: if the world is truly ending, let it end thusly, with drinks and joy at the sight of our enemy's greatest failure. Come and join me for some drinks and blah 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 blah. So it's like, that's like on like the foreground of the scene with all the font bubbles and stuff, or text bubbles, and then let's see, you have like Scorpion, I think Norman Osborn's there. I think that's him. I can't tell the hairstyles. It looks like it's him. Whatever. Bullseye, some other dude, and Fisker there. Oh, I think that's Sandman. Oh, wait, no, it's whatever. Anyway, so they're all there, and then it's funny because like the Punisher comes through the door and he's like, "Gentlemen, they say that when you die, you can't take it with you," which begs the question: exactly what am I going to do with all these bullets? And he just like raises his gun, but then it doesn't show him kill him, but it's implied. He just like mows him down. So I thought that was a cool scene. Let's see what else. Or what happens next, rather. Well, I think I'm going to put a spoiler alert in front of this because I totally just like spoiled a bunch of crap, whatever, and like a bunch of stuff's about to happen, a bunch of people are about to die. I'm just going to like talk about it, so whatever. So in the next scene, we have the ship that Black Widow and Spider-Woman are in gets hit, crashes, they die, and then Sue Storm's like, "Oh no, Resurrection team is lost. What are you gonna do now?" And then earlier you had Black Panther and Reed Richards telling Manifold about the Plan A and Plan B. Plan A was to teleport all the or not teleport the Resurrection team, or maybe it was to teleport them to the ship, but like whatever, it didn't happen. I guess they're too far out, even though, whatever, it's kind of, whatever, I'm not going to get into it, because it seems like something that Manifold could easily do, just like teleport to the ship and then teleport back, because that's how his power set works. Anyway, and so they're like, oh, well, plan A is not going to happen, because everybody just died, so it's on to Plan B, which is we failed, and we have to get who we can, that is, of the, who meets the qualifications of people that we'd like to use to repopulate the species or whatever. And so you see Black Panther like strap Manifold into this device thing, and it just like turns on. It's pretty cool. It's just like, and so he, I don't know what's going on or how it works, but it was pretty cool. And so over the next course, like the next couple of pages, basically he just like takes a bunch of people while they're like in the middle of combat and just like beams them back to the lifeboat ship. And so, but before that happens, we have Cyclops and his Phoenix Egg, whatever that is, going on. And then, yeah, he merges with it and just like starts. Well, he doesn't really have a chance to do anything actually because he gets grabbed by Manifold. But it seems like he was, taking the fight to the Ultimate Universe villains and just like, yeah. Cause you see like him, he has like this little spiel of line, blah blah blah, and then he like gets it, but then it cuts to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Rocket Raccoon and Groot get mowed down. It's like, oh man, I got sad here because I like Rocket Raccoon. So that happens, and then Gamora, Drax, and Peter Quill are like, we gotta get out of here. But then like in the middle of a sentence, Peter Quill gets snatched up by Manifold. Jeez, I keep forgetting like his name. I'm always thinking of like his first name Eden and not Manifold for some reason. Anyway, so that happens, and then you have Storm and Thor, and then Storm gets teleported, and of course Spider-Man gets teleported because it can't be an event without Spider-Man. So zip, he's out of there. Carol Danvers is in the middle of fighting the Ultimate Iron Man, and he's like hitting on her in the middle of the fight, which is pretty funny. She gets teleported away, and then Reed says to go ahead and like stop Manifold and like let him out of the machine to get back on the lifeboat. But then Black Panther's like, oh, he told me to go ahead and he says like he believes he can still make this work. He believes he can still find what we need. And he's like, are you sure you want to do this, Manifold? And he's like, yeah, get out of here. So he just like stays latched into the machine and just continues to like teleport people. Let's see. And then we have the launching of the life raft. And then you have the scene with Thanos and Ultimate Reed Richards. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. I learned something today. And Thanos is like, what did you learn? And he's like, some things refuse to die. I'm sure there's something important in there, whatever. He says this is the line, whatever. And Cyclops is all fighting off the bad guys in his moment of glory. Phoenix powers, I guess. I didn't understand the whole Phoenix Egg thing. And then he gets teleported right as he is having his moment, and he's like in the middle of his monologue. He gets teleported, and he's like finishing the sentence inside the ship with everybody else, and he's like, it's just kind of funny. He's like, into a different form. Oh. And you have this pretty tragic scene where the energy, I guess, from the incursion between the two planets, like, creates these like lightning bolts of power, and one of them strikes the lifeboat ship. And so that happens because they're basically about to make it through, like, there's a word for that. Scot-free, and be like, all right, we got it. The day is saved. Yay, the heroes made it. Like you knew they would. And then the lifeboat gets hit by one of these lightning thingy energy bolts, whatever they are. And they have a whole breach. Ship gets split in two. And then, basically... Okay, so... When it's split into two, you have the people that Manifold teleported, Reed Richards and Black Panther, and then the rest of the life ship is the Future Foundation, Susan Storm, Thing, and Human Torch. And so that happens, and like Reed's about to save him because she puts up like a force field as soon as it happens. But then she has the whole power degradation thing that the Fantastic Four had going on in that last run when like their powers were degrading. So like she has the force field held, and then I'm sorry. Okay, let me restart that. She has the force field held up around the ship, the part of the ship that got separated. And T'Challa's like, okay, Reed, I can, if I bring the shields down after 5 seconds, I have like a bit of time, and you can reach out there and grit them. And then they do this countdown, and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then like on the 1, you see like this panel where her like power start degrading, and so she like loses her force field, and then the ship just explodes. It's like, oh man. And Reed's like, no, and then he goes, like, he reaches his arm out to, like, get him, or stretches his arm out, and Carol Danvers is like, put the shield back up to T'Challa now, and then, like, yeah, doesn't have a chance, because they're dead, and they're all disintegrated. And then we see the lifeboat in between the planets as the incursion is happening, and it's like you have this narration again. I'm not sure if it's from Reed Richards or from Doctor Doom, and it's like I think it's from Reed Richards because he's talking about whatever. I'm not gonna say what he says. I didn't really need to say it because it's like, yeah, you can you don't really need to you don't really need to know it to know that he's in a bad place. But yeah, the Ultimate Universe Earth and the 616 Earth collide, explode, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's it. But then you see Doom. So it's like, that's interesting. You have narration by Reed Richards, but then you see Doom's face. So, okay. So at the beginning I was like, yeah, it doesn't really talk about something, but that's the part where it's like you see the platform with Doom, Doctor Strange, and Molecule Man, and they meet the Beyonders or the Rift at the edge of the multiverse, but it never says what happens when that happens. So you have that, and then you have no real scenes from the perspective of the Ultimate Universe side with Miles or the Cloak and Dagger, James, and Jean Grey, and who was the other one? Kitty Pryde. So yeah, the Ultimate Universe. So you never have that stuff of what was going on with them. You never have the stuff of what was going on with the Beyonders on that platform with Doctor Doom and stuff. So it's like we don't know what happened there. But yeah, basically everybody on 616 except for the people on the Life Raft are all dead. So yeah, unless they're off. Well, actually, if they're off the planet, it doesn't matter because their universe got wiped out anyway. So yeah, because the Shi'ar were unsuccessful in destroying the planet to save the universe. But yeah, and then you get to the end, and it's it's kind of sad because it's got this whole in memoriam thing at the end of the Marvel Universe 1961 to 2015 and the Ultimate Universe 2000 to 2015. And then it's next, and you have a panel of the lifeboat crashed somewhere in space because there's stars in the sky, and they're on some. Well, who knows what landscape that is? It could be a moon, it could be a planet. Who knows? We'll find out on Secret Wars number 2. And it's interesting because, Secret Wars 2. It's on Comixology. Wow, I pushed the wrong button. Dang it. But yeah, on Comixology, the solicitation, it basically talks about Battle World or whatever, so we'll see. And then the cover is all Thors. So you have Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Odin, Frog Thor, and then that one time Storm was Thor, and a bunch of other Thors. It's what's going on here? I'm super confused. And yeah, it's the solicitation says when the Marvel Universe is gone, all that remains is Battle World. Learn the secrets of this brave new realm. So I'm super confused right now because Odin's son died in the New Avengers, one of the last issues, but then you saw that the other Thor here this time, but she got teleported to the lifeboat, so I'm not even sure. But then she's part of Midgard anyway, so it's would she even die if she died? Would she go back to Valhalla? Whatever. I guess we'll find out next issue. So I'm not reading any of the tie-ins at all. So I'm just reading this mainline event stuff because not happening this time. So yeah, that is that. Wait a minute, let me check one more thing and I'll sign off here. But I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 out of 5 on Comixology. If you're wondering. It's pretty good stuff, and the different perspectives switching the whole time, and it's very chaotic. And oh man, it is the end. I didn't know for sure if it was going to be if they're going to somehow save the day, or if it was just going to be what it happened when oh, the Earth did explode. So yeah. But yeah, it says the digital release is the 13th, so that's next week. So is it weekly? I guess it is. So actually, I won't have to wait as long as I thought I would to get some answers on this one. So I'll be checking up and keeping up on it. But yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks for watching and listening. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not. That's cool too. And until you see or hear from me again, I'm now signing off.